for blah, 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 blah. All right, one more time. Hey everyone, welcome to day 37 in the Secure Marriage video series. You ever been scrolling through Facebook or talking with a friend or reading something or listening to the news or watching TV and someone says that statement? They say that thing and it jumps out at you. It might have been the first time you've heard it or it might have been the 42nd time you heard it, but for whatever reason, that time it stands out to you. That happened to me recently. I was sitting with a couple in my office and the wife says to me, "I don't want to be the only one who's responsible for the relationship." I've heard that sentiment over and over from lots and lots of women. In fact, it's a theory I have that initiation, men taking initiative and making the relationship better, is probably one of the sexiest things men can do. One of the greatest aphrodisiacs out there men can do is when they man up and actually try to make the relationship better. Women enjoy that. But the way this wife said it in this session, it stood out to me as a reminder again that the responsibility for making the relationship better should not just fall on the wife, even though that's kind of what happens all the time. You hear it kind of mockingly talked about the wife who's reading all the relationship books and leaving them for her husband to read and dropping hints and nudging and signing up for marriage retreats and seminars and conferences and all this stuff, and men are dragging their feet. It's stereotypical. I know it's not everyone out there, but I would argue that there's some truth to that. That's been my experience I've seen in my office. And yet women don't want to carry the lion's share of the responsibility for making the relationship better. It should be a shared responsibility. Both a husband and a wife need to engage in the process. Both of them need to take the initiation. Let's make this thing better together. I think it isn't done by men more often because it requires a little bit more, we'll call it emotional awareness. You might call it emotional intelligence. It does require an emphasis on relationship and not on task. And men, we love tasks. We love to fix things that we can get our hands on, that we can measure, that we can see instant results right away. That doesn't happen in relationships all the time, which sucks. Believe me, as a counselor, I really wish that I could just say the magic words, here's the magic book, read this, and everything's all better. Men, that's not how it works. It's more like growing organic things. It's like raising plants and flowers. You have to water it. You have to wait. You have to make sure the soil is right and the temperature is right and it has enough sunlight, and then slowly it starts to grow, and then you got to make sure you get all the weeds out of there. Relationships are organic. And if both people, husbands and wives, are not actively participating in tilling the ground and making sure that this thing called a relationship is being tended to, then that creates resentment within wives. And so I don't want that to happen for any wife out there, nor do I want men to experience the results of that resentment. So, ladies and gentlemen, husbands and wives, share the burden. Both take responsibility. Both engage. And when you do that, things get pretty good. Anyway, that's just a little thing that popped up in my world. Hope your world's doing good as well, and we'll see you tomorrow on day 38. Bye.